If one really gets into the perspective of a different species, to imagine what it might be like to be that species in their environment with their priorities, with their dominant sense, and with their ways of going about things. I can literally know from the animal's perspective what their motivations are. And for any behavior, there's always a reason that's driving that behavior. And then beyond even the species perspective, we also need to be able to get into the perspective of the individual. Much like humans, different individuals have different personalities, different needs and wants. Then to set about an empathic understanding, it's not inappropriate to start that with an imagined activity. What might it be like to be that goldfish in that bowl in the doctor's waiting room? And it helps a lot to first imagine their physical reality. Place yourself as if you were on the inside of the bowl looking out and seeing all the surrounding furniture from that perspective. Imagine what it's like to be wearing that skin of scales, that body covering. Once we begin to imagine what it might be like to be inhabiting the five sensory world of that creature, we are laying a very good foundation for us to be able to perceive that individual beings' particular experience and thoughts and feelings about things. When one drops into the relational field that's already there, perception and information just sort of arises and maybe seeps into our awareness more because we are quiet, for once, and we are focused. Whatever is reverberating through the field becomes available for perceiving and is being done so on the unconscious level. Our instinct isn't something that we have to switch on, nor is it entirely individual. Our instinct is contextual. And perhaps the art of asking a certain question to sort of pull up whatever just really is important to that other being, like they're in pain or they've got a need, is what's going to be quite loud on that energetic landscape, speaking from a quantum physics point of view. And so that will automatically come to my attention. But what's happening is that those emissions of what is, thoughts, feelings, circumstance, state of dehydration of a tree, injured left wing of a bird, these are just being broadcast into the space, as are our thoughts and feelings, by the way. And until those incoming bits of data filter through my mental database of vocabulary, life experiences, emotions, images, and find a match, I won't know about it. If I'm connecting with a young elephant who's perhaps been found wandering around and separated from the herd, and I'm feeling their separation anxiety, what might come first to my mind is my own personal memory of first day at school when I was 5 years old, because I was experiencing separation anxiety then. And that's because the energy is a match. So if several people standing in front of the same animal might translate the incoming messages differently within themselves, and nobody will be wrong. I might get a memory of my first day at school. The next person might, in a very dry, technical way, just see the words separation anxiety in their mind's eye. Somebody else might just get the raw emotion. We are suffering from a great separation sickness ourselves. And in our days of rush, we're kind of crushing our spirits. We have short attention spans. We demand immediate gratification. We're permanently distracted. We're not even long with our own pets in the evenings. We might be there as a hollow skin bag, but we're on devices or watching something, distracted in our minds, and the animals just sit there looking at us like, hello, lights are on, but no one's home. If we again allowed ourselves to have the feeling of belonging, and to surrender into that so deeply, Our very actions, our very choices would be prompted by our surroundings. We would never dream of buying a toxic detergent to use in our worldly homes because we would care about the spiders further down in the drainage outside or the ants getting poisoned. We would deeply care. And we would delight in how much that little stalk of moss had grown overnight. We would delight without needing to make concepts, and certainly without any strange view of there being relative value and relative importance or relative intelligence. I wish I hadn't spent quite so much time on trying to understand it, because truly experience is the only real teacher. And it's just so beautiful to be so directly related to these other beings. Gosh, all those hours I spent ferreted away, nose in books. I could have been just chatting with a butterfly or lying on a blade of grass and having a conversation.